Hey, so I'm Jordan. This is my 1991 Mustang. I'm 20 years old and I'm from Coatesville, Pennsylvania. So I've been into cars kind of all my life. My dad always had cool cars. He's got a '03 Mustang with low miles and a supercharger. So I've always been around it. I wasn't really all into it until around 2 years ago. So when I was around 18, which is when I bought this car. When I was 16, I just wanted a big lifted truck, but my dad let me drive his car every once in a while, and then I decided I got to go buy a Mustang. So here we are. Cars are a hobby that I love. It's just, I love the sound. I love working on them. It gives me something to spend all my money on. It's just something that I enjoy. I chose cars as a hobby because I was around it all my life, and it was never forced on me, but obviously, like I said, it wasn't until 2 years ago when I really got into it. So it's just, I enjoy it because who doesn't like to go a little bit fast, only to the speed limit? And then I love the sound of my car. I love working on it. I like just going out with a cup of coffee and just sitting there looking at it. Why not? It's pretty, right? I like the reactions that it gives people. Everybody's smiling when they see it and gives me thumbs up. It's just, brings me joy, brings me happiness, so that's why I love it. I mainly learned how to work on cars from my dad. He worked at a Ford dealership as a tech for 13 years, and then a Honda dealership for a long time as a tech, and then he moved up. But he taught me everything I really know, and now I asked for help, and he and doesn't come out and help me, but it's because he's forcing me to learn on my own now. So I've pulled the engine on this car 2 times, and I can do it by myself now because my dad taught me. So everything I know about cars is because of my dad. So this car is a 5-speed. It's not the car I learned how to drive stick in. The first car I ever drove stick in was my dad's 2003 Mustang. But it wasn't much driving that I did. But at work, I detail cars, and so I would practice on some new cars that were stick. But then my real experience where I actually was out on my own driving stick by myself was I had a 2005 Honda Civic that I got for cheap, and it was okay to beat the crap out of, so I took that out and really taught myself how to drive stick on that. So obviously I have a 1991 Mustang. When I was younger, this would not have been my choice. Actually, look, my dad had a Fox, so I would see pictures of his when I was a kid, and I looked at that and I don't really like that. It's just not my favorite body style of a Mustang. And then when I decided I was going to start looking for a Mustang, these were my price range, and I started looking more into them, and I realized that I liked the 5.0. The 5.0 was a great platform, and then I kind of just fell in love with the body style. And also, I thought the 5.0 would be faster than my dad's Mustang, so I kind of wanted to be faster than my dad, and I think a Fox is a great platform to go fast, so. This car is far from stock, from the interior to the exterior to the engine bay. It was originally a red car. It has a rebuilt title a year after it was brand new, so it's got a rebuilt title. But it was originally red, then it was blue, now it's silver. The interior, it's got 2019 Mustang GT seats in it, new carpets, Starlight headliner, full sound system. The engine bay, it's a carbureted 302 with a 750 carb. It's got 1.6 roller rockers, an F-cam, aftermarket heads, long tube header, straight back to Flowmasters. It's got 410 gears, subframe connectors. It's got a bunch of stuff to go fast and look good. This car is obviously 31 years old this year, so it's older than me, so it's very different than a new car. I daily a 2006 Honda Ridgeline, so I mean, even that as a truck, it doesn't drive like a truck, it rides like a car because it's unibody. So this is so much different than anything new. All the new stuff with all the technology, you're not feeling the road, and everything's automatic now, so you're not driving the car. Everything in this car is so raw. When you shift gears, you're hearing metal clank. You know, the back wheels, no traction control, they spin everywhere. You hear everything, there's a lot of road noise. Everything about this car is just so raw compared to anything brand new. And sometimes on long road trips it's like, oh, this is annoying, but at the end of the day it's so cool, because when you take people for rides, it's different than anything most people have been in. So people just love how raw it is, and that's why I love it too. The plans never end. When do they with cars, right? So I said it was red, blue, now silver. I plan on painting it emerald green with a little bit of extra flake. That's kind of my end goal with this car, is to have it be a quick street car that is show like ready. But I plan on doing that a little bit in the future. My more things I want to do soon, I'm planning on supercharging it this summer. I'd like to get some more power out of it with a 5.0, and then I'm going to enjoy the power with the supercharger for a little bit, and then I'd like to build a 408 stroker with a 351 Windsor. So most of what I want to do with this car now, a lot of the cosmetics are done besides paint, so I plan on giving it more power, maybe another engine, and then painting it. So, but who knows, stuff's going to break. I'm going to just keep throwing money at this thing, because why not? I love this car because it's 31 years old. It's just so cool to say that, because it's 10 years older than me. And I just think it's got more of a story. It's got more to talk about than a brand new car. The brand new cars are sick. I would drive a brand new Mustang any day, but I wouldn't sell this Mustang for a brand new Mustang. I would want both. This has so much more meaning behind it than a brand new car off a lot. And it just feels so much more different. This is carbureted. It was originally EFI, but not having to mess with the computers and just it being raw is so much more fun to me. And like I said before, not having traction control and it being raw, it's just so much more fun than having to type all these buttons to turn stuff off. And it's just not the same. It's a completely different experience. I would say newer cars are like sitting in a roller coaster and you're just there for the ride. This is, you're controlling the entire thing. I love this car, I really do. But if I could only ever own one car ever, it would have to be my dream car, which is a 1969 Mustang Fastback, which obviously it's not the most practical car to daily every day or in all sorts of weather, but at the end of the day, like reasons I've said before, it's more about the experience and the looks you get and the feeling you get when you're working on it and all that. And that car is just, the 69 Mustang is just the epitome of American muscle, and it's just a beautiful car, and I've wanted one forever. So that's the one car that I would buy if that's the only car I could ever have.